Hey everybody, and welcome to Let's Gay 1994. This is my YouTube show where I basically am doing a big, giant, fat rewatch of the entirety of 1994. And today is January 3rd, 1994, which is a Monday. Let's see how many times I can work 1994 into this episode. Or all of them, actually. Anyway, Monday is the start of our week where we have so much to cover. There's a lot of primetime shows that come back after Christmas and all that kind of stuff. But I wanted to start off strong because I'm probably typically going to start these off with covering the soaps of the day because they come first in the daytime. And I'm a big dork, obviously, about time and when things came out and keeping things chronological. So, but the first thing I'm going to start with today is going to be a little comic book you may have heard of called Sailor Moon. And that graphics cut off. I know it's terrible. But I don't know exactly when the Sailor Moon manga chapters were released. I have like a general idea of when they come out, so I've added them into my rotation for shit I watch or read. And I figured I'd start with Sailor Moon just because I know it's a crowd pleaser. Soap fans, sorry, you'll have to wait till after Sailor Moon. So anyway, according to my calculations, this is about the time when Act 25 Showdown, Death Phantom, I think that's what it's called. It's cut off. I can't tell. This is I have it written down. Yes, Death Phantom. This is the chapter of Sailor Moon in the manga that deals with the Death Moon arc. Is that what it's called, or is it Black Moon? I can't remember. But uh, the manga, though, I have a hot take here that I don't know. Maybe some people will be on my side about this, and maybe other people won't. But I love Sailor Moon. I love it. I didn't grow up on the anime, but I watched, of course, the Deke anime before it was even on Toonami. I had friends that had like VHS recordings of it, and so that's how I watched it and got into it. Isn't that how we all started in the 90s? But um when I finally read the manga, I never really finished it when Tokyo Pop was putting it out, and it wasn't until is it Kodansha I think finally put it out, like Kodansha USA. And so I thought, like, let me start collecting these, and I'll actually finally read the whole manga because I've always wanted to see the differences in how the original was, because I know there are a lot of differences, and the biggest one is that the manga is terrible. That's the biggest fucking difference. It is astonishing to me what they were able to do with this shitty fucking manga with the anime. It was so good. And some of the episodes do really follow the manga closely, so it's not all terrible, but most of it is. I find her art kind of hard to follow sometimes. I've presented my art to artists in the industry, comic book industry, and one of my biggest critiques, of course, which you'll hear a lot if you're an artist and you don't do a lot of backgrounds, is that you need more backgrounds, Rory. And so, of course I listen to that, but then I look at shit like Sailor Moon's manga, and there's no backgrounds. It's such garbage. I can't tell what's going on. It's just it's and aside from that, it's devoid of humor for the most part. So the anime just does such a good job of adding more to this manga to make it less shitty. It adds more personality to the characters, really differentiates them from one another. So you've got like clear favorites when you watch the anime because everyone is so different. And one of my absolute favorite things about the anime is Sailor Moon and Sailor Mars' relationship. The way they fight, yet love each other so deeply. Mars is my favorite scout, so why would I even like her in the fucking manga? The manga's trash. I'm sorry, that is my hot take. But I don't even know what happened in Showdown Death Phantom because I don't fucking care. I read it and I forget. It's just boring, and nothing happens. It takes forever for anything to happen. But nothing's really happening. They're just running around, and Rini's getting lost and being seduced by the Death Phantom and turned into Black Lady or Dark Lady or Wicked Lady in the Deke dub. It's not. I have to force myself to read it just because it's in my list. But I can't stand the manga. It's just awful stuff. And so when Crystal came out, I was like, oh, let's check this out. And it's terrible too. Most people, I think, do agree Crystal is inferior to the original anime. But we'll get to the anime and talk more about that when it airs, because right now Sailor Moon R is being released in 1994. I need a Pee Wee Herman scream even though that's 80s. Anytime I say the magic word, which could be 1994 today. But yeah, Sailor Moon, shitty manga. Sorry, fans of Sailor Moon, if I piss you off with that hot take, but that's my stance, and Nako Takeuchi's gonna cry all day when she hears how much I hate it. So anyway, that's Sailor Moon. That's my hot take. So moving along to the soap operas of 1994. So we've got our ABC soaps, our CBS soaps, and NBC soaps, and soaps were still king at this time. There were probably more at other times. Like NBC still only has 2 right now, but on ABC, which we're starting with, the first up is Loving. And I have never, like, the only soap I really watch is Days of Our Lives, but because when I hit 1994, when I gave up trying to keep up in real time with all this stuff, I was like, let's watch the soaps too, because I've always wanted to watch all these old soaps, especially General Hospital, because I've kind of casually watched that. Uh, but a lot of the other ones on ABC, such as Loving, I've never seen an episode in my life. I don't remember it at all, but I started watching what I could find, and I actually dig it. It's only a half hour long, but it has some the biggest actress I can think of that is in it is Laura Wright, who plays Allie, which I did not know this is where she got her start, but I really enjoy her. She plays Carly on General Hospital today, and I think, oh, what did she do between this and General? I can't remember, but I really like that actress, Laura Wright. So it was fun to see her here, so young. And this Loving right now picks up right after New Year's. Of course, all of them are going to. And there's like a big New Year's Eve party, but she's Allie is torn between 2 men that she wants to marry right now. And so uh, she can't decide, but in the coming days is her struggling with that situation. Then there's also another girl who I think has a crush on a guy, but he rejects her, so she tries to jump off a balcony or something, and she'll be developing an eating disorder. It's good, heavy stuff. Everybody's developing eating disorders right now. It's very in to do that storyline. I'm not trying to make light of it. I'm just saying, like, it's a hot topic right now. And I think it's probably one of the first times we really were talking about eating disorders in the media and in, it was in pop culture. So you'll see it on 90210. You'll see it on a lot of soap operas. On Days of Our Lives, Sammy's dealing with an eating disorder as well. And it's really everywhere, I guess, just trying to raise awareness. And so that's definitely tackled on Loving as well. But in this one, I write down, whenever I watch the soaps, I write down like a little, just like one liner about what happened. And in this one, Cooper and Allie announce their engagement after Clay chooses Steffi. I can't even remember these characters at this point because I only got to watch a couple episodes and then there were no more available. Coming up next is All My Children after Loving. Or wait, right? Because Loving airs at 12:30 p.m. and then All My Children is at 1, and then at 2 you watch One Life to Live. All My Children, it's not as available to watch, but One Life to Live I've been able to find, and let me tell you, that one's my favorite fucking soap after Days of Our Lives, of course. It's a great one. I can see why. I think Ron Carlivati came from that soap, and he grew up on and what he liked, and I think eventually wrote for them before it was canceled, and then he went to General Hospital, I think. And that's actually when I started watching General Hospital, because he brought Laura back, and I wanted to watch her, because I knew her as Diana on Days of Our Lives, and didn't even realize it was fucking Jeannie Francis from fucking General Hospital. I'm like, because I never watched General Hospital before that. I just, of course, heard about Luke and Laura, but everyone knows what Luke looks like because of his hair. I didn't know what Laura looked like, so it was just kind of funny that watching her as Diana on Days, not in the 80s, I was watching it on like YouTube years later, and I just fell in love with Diana though, so I had to go back to General Hospital. Anyway, getting back to One Life to Live, it's really great, and Todd, I guess, is just being introduced into the show right now, and I think there was a rape storyline where he was accused of rape, but it's actually this other guy, is it Kevin or Ryan or something like that, but right now everybody hates Todd, and he's basically kind of kidnapped this girl. I can't remember her name either. Sorry, I'm really bad about that. But Todd is a big character on One Life to Live that eventually went to General Hospital when they canceled it. And I love him, so he's great to see, especially when his first appearances. I've always wanted to watch more Todd, so it's great to be able to finally get into the Todd storyline. But he's been stabbed, I guess, and now he's hiding out, and that one girl, Rebecca, or I think it's Rebecca, she's helping him. hideout. Even though she's kind of scared of him too, because he's a bad boy. He kind of reminds me of Steve, but he's not as great as Steve Patch from Days of Our Lives. But Cassie DePava, if that's how you say her name, is also in this show as Bel-Air, so it's great to see her. I know her more from when she played she was playing Eve on Days of Our Lives for a while, but most people will know her from Kathy Griffin when she was on The View creating drama with Elizabeth Hasselbeck. Cassie DePava was right there in the middle trying to like diffuse the situation. It's really funny. You should look it up on YouTube. I know Kathy Griffin would appreciate it as well. So after One Life to Live, isn't there another one? Hold on, let me look at the schedule. I think there should be one more soap. Oh God, of course I got off the schedule. General Hospital, of course, but I don't have the episodes to watch for Monday. But General Hospital is what comes up next at 3. So moving on then to CBS, we have their block, which starts with Young and the Restless, then Bold and the Beautiful, then As the World Turns, and then of course Guiding Light, which is I believe our longest running soap of all time at this point in time. But I only got to watch Bold and the Beautiful because I guess they've posted all their episodes, which I wish Days of Our Lives would do, but Bold and the Beautiful has all their episodes available to watch on YouTube. So I'm watching, I think it's season 8 or something like that. I had to figure out where the dates were to find out January 3rd, but it's still on today. It's one of the few. Bold and the Beautiful, General Hospital, Days is still on, but on Peacock, and then Young and the Restless. Those are the only 4 still on TV today out of what we'll be discussing. There is a new one now, Beyond the Gates, which actually films right here in Atlanta, but I've never had the pleasure of working on that show, although I would in a heartbeat. But so Bold and the Beautiful, though, this episode, it was so funny to watch this one for my first episode because James Doohan, is that his name? Who plays Scotty on Star Trek, or Doohan, James Doohan. I don't know how to say his name, but he's played Scotty on Star Trek, and he's in Bold and the Beautiful playing the father of I can't remember the character's name, but he's been in soaps a long time, and it's I guess James is the character. So James's father is guest star James Doohan, and so it's really funny to see him on a soap opera. And it's so melodramatic. The thing I can't stand about a lot of these soaps, even in the 90s, is how melodramatic they can be and how shitty the music is. It sounds like it's filmed in the 70s. The music is just so terrible. It's really shocking to me because watching Days, it's like it just has this modern feel to it that the other soaps don't have. And I don't know if they were trying to hold on to that campy feel of old 70s soaps on ones like As the World Turns, but none of them really feel very modern except for Days of Our Lives, which I find just strange. So Bold and the Beautiful, one of the other things I noted was that Lawrence Alamain from Days of Our Lives is now over there because he and Carly recently left Days of Our Lives. Their storyline wrapped up, so he jumped over to Bold and the Beautiful. I'm not sure where Carly lands. I think she might land on Guiding Light. But that's our Bold and the Beautiful for the day. And what else is on? I didn't get to watch Now As the World Turns, but that's up next, obviously, and Guiding Light. So that moves us over to NBC, where we have my fucking favorite soap ever in the world. It's still the best. Nothing compares. It's so good. It had the possession storyline, which we will get to by the end of 1994, and I cannot wait for that. Like, I'm so excited to get there, but it's only January 3rd, so we got a ways to go. But in this episode, Stefano wants to get his hands on Sammy's diary. Oh my God, I haven't been going through these. Sorry. I have all the stupid things, and of course, I do these in one take, and that's it. I'm not editing this shit. So I'm going through the soaps. Sorry. Catching up. We're finally at Days of Our Lives. So, Days of Our Lives. Yes, Stefano wants to get his hands on Sammy's diary at this point, because Sammy's writing down all of her family drama in it, including the fact that John and Marlena had an affair, and that's how they had baby Belle, who Sammy changed the paternity results so that everybody thinks that her father, Roman, because Marlena and Roman are together at this point, and Marlena got pregnant with John's baby, but because of Sammy, everybody thinks it's Roman's. And so this was right after Sammy tried to sell the baby on the black market, which is an iconic Sammy storyline. It's like her earliest big, shocking storyline. And let me just say, I pulled up an image of her. Sammy is probably one of the most interesting new characters of 1994 or 93, because that's really what we've been watching so far. I am just so amazed at how they've introduced her and made her just such a like complex character. She's just got so much going on and so involved in everybody's storyline basically, and just because she's dealing with like the how much she loves her father, and that's what her motivation is protecting him. So that's why she switched the paternity results. That's why she's got this. She hates her mom and she hates John because of what they did to him and they hurt him, and so they know that she knows what's going on, but she's the only one, and her best friend Jamie, they know that Belle isn't really Roman's daughter. Well, that's written in her diary, and so Stefano's trying to get his hands on it. I don't think he knows the truth yet, but he wants to get his hands on that diary so he gets that information and can destroy the Bradys. Stefano DiMera, iconic villain. He's currently on Days of Our Lives right now. I will spend a lot of time talking about Days. I'm sorry, video game fans and fans of just Fresh Prince and shit. But soaps were king in 1994, so we're going to talk about them. And I'm definitely going to talk a lot about Days because it is the best soap of 94. And a lot of people watched that shit, especially with the possession. My God. People find out I watched Days of Our Lives like, oh yeah, I used to watch that because Marlena was possessed. Or they bring that up. It's the most iconic storyline of the show, and it's my fucking favorite. I can't wait to get to it. So anyway, moving along though, we do have Another World to talk about before we move on from soaps. It comes on after Days of Our Lives, before Passions came on. And I never really watched it, even though it came on after Days. My sisters kind of did, so I'm a little familiar with, like, Jake's the only real character I remember. And then I do remember the guy with the ponytail. He had, like, silver hair, silver ponytail. And maybe just a couple others are slightly familiar, but it's definitely Jake. My sister and I always would quote this one line he'd say at a wedding sometime. I can't wait to get to it, because we'll be like, that's it, that's the line. Because he goes, some blonde interrupts the wedding, or wants to, and she gets there too late. So he goes, too late, blondie, the deed is done. And it's just only important to me, but I can't wait to find that episode. So anyway, Another World's really great because Judy Evans is on there, which I didn't realize she went to Another World after she left Days of Our Lives, and she's playing the character of Paulina. So I'm really excited to see Judy Evans again over on Another World, since she's not on Days of Our Lives anymore. And in this episode, she and Jake are locked in a room together. I wonder if she's the blondie who he says, too late, blondie, the deed is done too. But they seem to be romantically involved. Or were. But they don't get along now, and so they're locked in this room together. And another person that I forgot or didn't realize was on Another World is the guy that played Doctor Doom. Sorry, I'm gotta type this in. Fantastic Four cast of the original one, 2005. Yeah. What's his name? It's Julian McMahon. He's unfortunately passed away, but he was on Another World, and he is in this episode playing Judy Evans' love interest, Paulina. But I think he catches them. Maybe it's tomorrow's episode, but he catches them locked in the wine cellar or wherever they're locked up, and gets really pissed because he thinks she cheated on him or whatever. And it was just so funny to see him, and he's hot. Oh, he was so hot when he was on Another World. So anyway, that is Another World, and that concludes my big, long, boring soap spiel for the episode. You can click ahead. If I did chapters, you can click ahead and get over the soaps, unless you're a soap fan. So, but I'm covering everything. So now it's time for prime time, and our very own Fresh Prince of Bel-Air has a new episode tonight. Fresh Prince is in its fourth season right now. And so Sleepless in Bel-Air is the episode that aired. And in this episode, Will needs to study, but he waits till the last second. Things get made complicated by a cricket in the house and Ashley trying to stay out of her first date later than her curfew. I like Fresh Prince, though. It's a solid show. It's fun. And it's probably NBC's biggest Monday night show. I think it's the only one I have this week to watch. But Monday nights seem to really belong to CBS with their lineup. Because I feel like I've always got something to watch on CBS that night. Though I do like I like NBC sitcoms more than CBS. CBS sitcoms, except for The Nanny, which just started, I'm not really that crazy about them. NBC's good. Fox is my fucking favorite. They've got the best sitcoms. And then ABC's usually pretty corny. I still enjoy shows like Full House and Family Matters, but they're definitely more corny family sitcoms. But NBC's a solid, like, adult yet still tasteful sitcom, where Fox is like the raunchy, and then over on CBS we've got like I'm an old lady and I want to watch my Murphy Brown. So, first up though, first up I think is Evening Shade, but it's a repeat tonight. And Evening Shade's terrible. I'm sorry, it's not a very good show. It can't decide if it wants to be a meaningful, touching drama or if it wants to be a sitcom and a comedy. So unfortunately, I'm not even able to really watch it right now because it's not available to stream anywhere. But what I have been able to watch, I haven't really enjoyed much of it. There's some highlights and good episodes, but Dave's World is up next, and let me tell you, I don't enjoy that one either. Poor Dave's World. But let's change my graphic. This is Dave's World. Does anyone remember this one? It somehow went 4 seasons despite being completely terrible. It's got our favorite, I can't remember his name, but he was on Night Court. He's the lead. The Harry from Night Court. Isn't that his name in real life too? I can't remember. But he's the lead. And it's all about him and his dumb family. The guy, Anthony, right there, from Designing Women, he's on this show. So that was I was really happy to see he came over to Dave's World after Designing Women. All of Designing Women was canceled, I guess. So all the actors, well, at least 2 of them went somewhere. I don't think anybody else really went anywhere. But he did. And then up next, oh wait, no, we got Murphy Brown, and then we've got Love and More. That's where Annie Potts went. But let's go back to Dave's World. It's just so typical and boring, and it's miraculous to me that it gets 4 seasons, and then shows that I really end up liking. I mean, they're different networks, but there was like Down the Shore was this show I watched last year that was charming, and I really dug it, and I loved it. And I think it did get 2 seasons technically, but shows like The Sinbad Show get 1 season, and this shit gets 4? I don't get it. Are just old people just watching anything? So Dave's World, I'm sorry, not a great show, not my favorite to watch, but I'm still gonna watch it anyway because I'm a completist. Gotta watch everything of 1994. So up next, though, as I spoiled, was Murphy Brown. And Murphy, I love Candice Bergen, and I do like the cast. I have a weird crush on certain characters like Miles. I don't know how to explain that one. I just think he's hot. He's the geeky one on the end there, right there. And I've got such a crush on him. But I do like Murphy Brown. I just sometimes it can get a little like they're trying to really deliver a message, so they forget to be funny. And I like it when they can deliver a message and be meaningful, but also be funny at the same time, which is hard to do. But I don't know. It's season 6. I do like the show, but it's not my favorite. Anyway, this episode was A Piece of the Auction is the title of the episode. And well, wait. I need to back up a little bit just to say Just Kidding was the episode of Dave's World, and it's just an episode where Barry's choice of words land them in trouble. Whoop-de-doo. So anyway, getting back to Murphy Brown. A Piece of the Auction is about an obnoxious radio host, Marty Crane, has singled out Murphy for derisive comments for which she has little recourse. When Marty submits the winning bid for a charity dinner date with Murphy, she doesn't know what to expect. And that's Murphy. So moving on then to the last show they've got. This is actually probably my favorite show on CBS. At least on Monday night. I like Love and War because I love Annie Potts, and I have a big fat crush on Jack. I forget his real name, but he's Jack in the show. Something is so sexy about him too. Or is he Jewish too? I think I have a thing for Jewish men. Because Miles is. Anyway, Annie Potts, this is actually the 2nd season, and the 1st season was okay just because I really love Jack, but the woman they cast was this woman from the Partridge Family, and she played just a really unlikable character. Or she wasn't unlikable, she just, you didn't see what Jack saw in her. And so I was not sad that they decided to recast her and she was the only one, but they recast one of the leads on the show for season 2 with Annie Potts. And thank God they did, just because I love her and their chemistry's better. Because like every time that Jack and the other girl would try to you would just constantly why are they together? They're so awful together. Why are they together trying to work through this when they're so just terrible together? But Annie, she has better chemistry with him, and it's a lot more fun. I actually bought this show off of Amazon because I wanted to watch it with Annie Potts, and I don't regret it. It was like $10, and what the fuck? I spend $4-5 on every comic I buy a month, And that's just one episode of something. This is a whole season of a show, so I thought it was worth it. But this episode was called Slaughter on 10th Avenue, where Dana takes Jack shopping. Dana is Annie Potts' character. Takes Jack shopping to convince him that salespeople discriminate against women. One thing about a lot of soaps of this era, it's always battle of the sexes. That gets kind of tiring and old. It's just always like men are like this and women are like that, and ugh, God, that just gets tiring. But that's, I guess, the easiest go-to for writers. But yeah, that's Love and War, which I had never heard of this show until I started watching it. Our next show is this show on ABC? This show is called The Good Life, and it's on NBC, actually. Oh, shoot, I have this out of order. Sorry. This should have come right after Fresh Prince over on NBC. And this was its premiere tonight. On January 3rd, we have the premiere of The Good Life, which you've probably never heard of because I think it's like 13 episodes before it gets canned, maybe. But it has some surprising, or not surprising, but significant castings in this show. You see, if you check out our cast, you'll notice up top, sorry, I can't get in front of the picture, Drew Carey's up there. This is before his show, and he was getting his start. I think he was on a couple like late night shows and stuff, getting his start. And now he was on The Good Life, and he's pretty funny in it. And the show's decent. I don't mind this show. Another crush, I think the dad's hot in this. And then another notable star on this show is child actor Justin Burfield. Is that his name? Who, yeah, he plays Bob Bowman. What a name for a kid. I don't know if they call him Bobby or Bob, but I think that's what I wrote down. But he used to play Reese on Malcolm in the Middle. But this is, I think, probably his first thing he ever did, which I had no idea he did anything before Malcolm in the Middle. But I love him on Malcolm in the Middle. He's so good. I shouldn't talk about gay people, but I think he's gay. I cut that out, Roy. I just was shocked when I heard interviews with him lately. Anyway, that's just my musing. I have no proof. I'm just, whatever. I'm talking on my ass. So, yeah, that is not Dave's World. That's The Good Life. So that, I think, might be all of our shows for the evening, that were new, which leaves us just with a new Conan O'Brien, where I was able to watch the episode that aired on the 3rd, which had Mark Hamill on it. And I think he was promoting Batman Mask of the Phantasm, possibly? I don't know for sure, but he was definitely talking about the Joker and his role as the Joker and stuff, because he's been on my favorite show in the world, Batman. And I do recognize his talent. I love Mark Hamill. I love him in Star Wars, and I love his voice work. I know him better from Spider-Man, because he voiced the Hobgoblin, but he was on Conan O'Brien, and Conan, my God, it's the only late night show I'll probably really try to keep up with, if I can, because Conan's my fucking favorite. If you're my age, probably, I think a lot of people my age, 40s, 43, grew up watching him on late night, or, he came on after Leno, and I didn't care about Leno very much. I think I did when I was younger, but when I got into high school, and I couldn't wait for Conan. His show is so fucking good. He's so funny. It's like watching SNL every night. It was just such a good fucking show. I just can't say enough. I love his podcast, and I wish he still had a late night show, because I'm pretty sure he's out of it. It's just, unfortunately, I don't even watch current TV, so I wouldn't watch it. But I love him. I'm so glad he's still around and still relevant to this day. It's just funny because this is his first season of the show, and it's just interesting to see this Titan getting his start being so awkward. And but I've been really pleasantly surprised, I guess, that all his guests are very complimentary towards him and recognize how good he is, because he is good. Lauren knew what he was fucking doing when he gave Conan a show. So anyway, that basically wraps up January 3rd for us. I hope I didn't bore you too much with the soaps, but I am going to talk about soaps. There is a forward button, obviously. You don't want to hear about it. But that's why I started with Sailor Moon. So maybe I'll try to... I don't know. I don't know if I'll mix up the order I do it. But anyway, thank you for tuning in for January 3rd, 1994. And come back tomorrow on January 4th. Well, it won't be tomorrow. I post these weekly. But next time on January 4th, we'll be covering Tuesday and all the great shows that came back after the holidays. And so thank you so much for tuning in, and come back next week when we talk about 1994.